What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman from the White Knight series. And so here we have White Knight Batman posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what he comes with. White Knight Batman does come with 3 different accessories. We do get a grapnel gun, which looks really nice, reminiscent of the animated series one, and it does fit in his left hand. We do get a grappling hook with a battering at the end of it, and it looks really nice, and you can hang it on his belt. And then we also do get one where it's extended out where it looks like he's throwing it, so I do like that. He also does come with the McFarlane Multiverse base. Other than that, White Knight Batman here doesn't come with anything else. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually move on to his details. And so here we have a closer look at the White Knight Batman, and I have to say he has a really nice look to him. He has this really mean mug going for him, and it's just really, really imposing. He casts a really beautiful silhouette, something that you do not want to encounter in a dark alley. Really love the way his head looks. They did a really good job with the head sculpt. Looks just like it does in the comics. Now, as I said with the Joker, I didn't read the White Knight series, but it does look like an interesting series, and they did capture the look of Batman here with the short ears, the really beady little eyes. He just looks like an imposing character. Taking a look at his costume, you can see, unlike other Batman, he actually does have a collar, which is something we don't really see that often, but we have seen it on Batman. So the collar is a really nice look, and again, just makes him a little more menacing and imposing. I really do like the way the cape drapes over his shoulders. That's a really nice look for any Batman, and I do like the fact that McFarlane continues to make advances in their figures, because he has a really flexible cape, and I really do like that. It's attached somewhere up here, so it sits nicely, but it doesn't impede articulation, so I do like that. As you can see right there, it does peg into his back. Really do like the design of the cape. It's not your traditional Batman cape, because it does look like it has some of the tatters right here in the top, and it goes into the more traditional Batman cape here, and then goes back to have those tattered pieces right here. So overall, the cape does look good. Taking a look at the bat symbol, almost said bat signal. It's a really nice look. I do like this bat symbol a lot. You can see it does go up almost all the way to the shoulder, and it does have these little points at the very edge going all the way down. So that's a really nice bat emblem, and the way the light captures it, the texturing on it looks really nice. So they did an absolutely good job here. Taking a look at his arms, we do have these really muscular arms, and you can see how nice they look. The sculpt is really good on them. If you weren't looking for it, you might be able to forget he actually has elbow articulation, because it just does a really nice job blending together. We do have some little black bars right here on his forearm. They're not attached to his gloves. I don't know what that's for. Maybe it's like buttons that he uses to communicate with somebody or something else. I don't know. The bat spurs right here are attached to the costume, not the gloves. He is wearing these short black gloves, so that's really interesting to see. Like all Batman before him, he does have this really big utility belt, and it does have some pouches. We do have the hook right there for the rolled up rope. We have a knife right here. Unfortunately, it's not removable, and it's made of a really soft plastic. We have some pouches right there. We have a smaller pouch there, and then we have the clips right here, so the utility belt is really nice. Also, deviating from most Batman, his boots actually go up past his thighs, almost to the point of his hip, so that's something you rarely ever see on a Batman. But I do like the fact that the boots do have panel lining. We have some little detail right here, so that looks good. Panel lining goes all the way down. It's consistent. Maybe those are just clips. It's not beyond the realm of possibility that those are just clips. Really do like the design on the boots, and you can see he has some spurs on the back of his heels, so that would really hurt if he were to kick somebody really hard. So overall, a really interesting take on Batman. It's It has elements of a traditional Batman, but at the same time, it does things different, that it's its own thing. So I really do like that. So the White Knight Batman here is an imposing looking figure. So let's actually get him compared to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have the White Knight Batman posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have White Knight Batman posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have White Knight Batman posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we do have White Knight Batman posed next to the McFarlane White Knight Joker and Azrael. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to his articulation. Now, White Knight Batman here does have a double ball joint here in the head. You can see it does move around really nicely, so I do like the fact that it's a double ball joint. He has no articulation in the neck, so all the articulation is going to be done in his head. So he can look up to about that far, can look down, does get really nice head tilt. His head can turn left and right, although it is hindered by the collar right here, so do be aware of that. So decent head movement there. He has a ball socket going into the torso, so the shoulders do lean back very far, come forward pretty good, they slide down, pivot upwards. There's a cap right here that hides the joint, so really good movement here on that arm. So you can see we get in and out, up and down movement. Really like that. Arms do go out to about there. They could go up, but the cape does bring the arm back down, as you can see. Does do a full 360 if you move the cape out of the way. If the cape is in the way, it of course only goes up to about right there, which is still acceptable. We do have a swivel right here in the bicep. Single bend at the elbow. We get close to 90 degrees. Not quite, but close enough. We have a ball hinge right here in the wrist, so that goes in and out like that. We can rotate that joint up, so we can have an up and down hinge, and of course it does rotate on that peg. We do have a single ball joint, I'm going to guess, right here in the torso. Does lean back a little bit forward, a little bit side to side, and rotate. Then we have another ball joint down here in the waist, so that does go back to about there, goes forward to about there. So using both of them together does give you pretty good range. He does have articulated hips, which kick out to the side all the way. Really good splits there. They go forward, back, no problem. We do get somewhat of a thigh swivel on this figure, so I do like that they are implementing a thigh swivel. We have a double bend at the knee. Works no problem. Good range there. We have a ball hinge right here at the ankle, but you can see the way it's sculpted. It does go back only to about there. Goes forward to about there. Does somewhat have a forward-facing pin, but you can rotate that, so we get better rocker ankle. And then we have a toe hinge. So overall, really good articulation here on White Knight Batman. I kind of wish he had double jointed elbows, but that's neither here nor there. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts. And so here we have the McFarlane White Knight Batman posed for my final thoughts. And overall, I think McFarlane has done an amazing job with this figure. It's not your traditional Batman figure per se, but there's still elements of Batman to enjoy about this figure. I think the head is done really well, and it looks just like it does in the comic books from what I've seen. The cape, I'm not one for the collar, but I think it does complete the overall look and feel of this particular figure. So I really can't knock the collar, because everything about this figure seems to go together. The design of it is done really nicely. If you are looking for the McFarlane White Knight Batman figures, they are starting to trickle out into stores at the time I'm making this video. I haven't seen them in stores just yet. They just barely got released on Amazon, so you can expect them to come out within the next few days, weeks, depending on your area. If you're lucky enough to pick this set up from Amazon, each one will run you $20. So that's $20 for Joker, $20 for Batman, and $20 for Azrael. At the time I'm making this video, Batman and Joker are still available on Amazon, but Azrael is sold out. So Azrael is going to be the harder one to get out of the three. If you can get all three, I really do recommend you do so, because they are all really nice figures in their own right. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other DC Multiverse videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time guys, I'll see you later. Take care everyone.